I just never took the time.
Maybe I didn't love you.
You were always on my mind.
But you were always on my mind.
You were always on my mind.
Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into this video on Elvis is the Man. So I want to make a quick video and talk about the song Always in My Mind and my thoughts about this song. Now, I think this song was like a song that could have really done a lot better for Elvis, you know, like say other songs like It Hurts Me in 1964 or some others. So the first time I actually heard this song was in like the early 90s when Priscilla Presley had these things come out that she hosted. It was like The Man and His Music, and comment down below if you actually remember those originals. Like back in the day, I would just record it off the TV and watch it over and over, because back then there wasn't like a lot of Elvis material. So the take that I want to show and emphasize is take 3. It was the one that Elvis did in Elvis on Tour with the red like silk shirt and then the white scarf over it, which in my opinion, I wish he wouldn't have worn that scarf. He just should have just left like the red shirt. But anyway, I think he did the perfect take of that song. But for whatever reason, he just decided to use a different take, and I'll compare and contrast the master take. But this song, I really think, should have definitely have been a hit. So let's look at a few pieces of the song, some points where I think that you may like, and I want to see if you guys like these certain parts like I do. And then we can maybe talk about why this song wasn't a hit when I think it definitely had the potential to be. So this was take 3, recorded in March 1972. I really do believe this was Elvis's best version of the song. This song was actually made famous by Willie Nelson years later. The reason why I think it wasn't made famous by Elvis was the fact that he put it on the B side of a single, with the A side being the song written by his friend Red West, Separate Ways. Now, Separate Ways, I think, probably resonated deeper with Elvis, the lyrics, than the lyrics of Always on My Mind. Yeah, Priscilla was probably on his mind quite a bit, but the song lyrics of Separate Ways, like, there's nothing left to do but go our separate ways, pick up all the pieces left behind us, and maybe someday, somewhere along the way, another love will find us. The emotional heartbreak songs of the early to mid 70s started to dominate Elvis's recordings. And also, you see that huge watch he was wearing with the diamonds? Well, he wore that a lot during the filming, and also in April he wore it, but it didn't quite hold up.
Here, you take this off or it come off?
I took it off.
You did? You start tearing your wrist up?
Cut my wrist.
Yeah, go get some Band-Aids on.
On both sides this time.
So let's analyze the actual audio. Like I said, the first version I heard was the one from Elvis on Tour. But when I actually heard the official recording, I was like, oh man, his vocals aren't as good as actually take 3. Well, I found out what take 3 was, and that the Elvis on Tour was actually to take 3. Now, I'm not being over analytical, but I just like to share what I notice between the master and the outtake.
Maybe I didn't love you. Maybe I didn't love you. Little things I should have said and done. Little things I should have said and done.
Not sure why the master take was the one that was released, but take 3, I think you agree, is just sung a little prettier. The chorus in both versions is probably about the same, but I think the ending is way stronger for take 3.
You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
So the problem I think that the song had, because Willie Nelson really made it famous, at least in my eyes. And I think when people think of that song, if you're not really an Elvis fan, you'll think of Willie Nelson's version. So I think the problem that this song had was that Elvis put it on the B side, or maybe Felton. Maybe Elvis he wasn't too especially in like the 70s, he wasn't too involved with like album covers, we know, and what songs went on what albums, and maybe even in this situation, because he put it on the B side and the A side was Separate Ways. Now I think Separate Ways was like not definitely not as strong. It was a lesser track to Always on My Mind, but his friend Red West wrote it for him. And Red had some good ones, like If Every Day Was Like Christmas. Separate Ways was all right, but it's kind of boring to me. If Always on My Mind was the A side, maybe Elvis was doing Red a favor or something. Maybe he just really thought it was the better song. But I think a mistake was made by putting Always on My Mind on the B side. If Always on My Mind could have been on the A side, or maybe could have even been paired with Burnin' Love, that would have been like a track like Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel back in 1956, or Don't Be Cruel, Hound Dog. Just like the song Trouble was made famous by, what was his name? Travis Tritt. I think, Elvis, he in the Travis Tritt song it was a good version. I liked it. That's the song. That's how I first learned about the song. It wasn't until later when I discovered, whoa, Elvis actually recorded the song too. It's just one of those things where it just, I guess, didn't work out for Elvis. But I think that, if Elvis could have even done this song during always, oh my gosh, during Aloha from Hawaii, instead of having some covers like that really didn't do him any justice, like Something, or he could have replaced with that and had this been the strong third song, and then go right into You Gave Me a Mountain. Maybe Elvis didn't realize how powerful of a song this was because it didn't get the airplay and therefore it didn't get the success. But a lot of Elvis fans like me found out after the fact how great it really was. But tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I'd like to hear them, and talk to you next time.